by Riverside.
Yes. Welcome to the post-game episode of the U.S.'s game, round of 32 knockout against Bosnia-Herzegovina. As they keep saying, the U.S. played two countries in one match. But what a hell of a game. Will, man, I know you were out and about watching the game elsewhere. I was home on my big TV watching it, biting my nails, down to 10 men. Woo! What a crazy result! What a crazy result for the U.S. I think it wasn't something we didn't expect. It just wasn't the way that we wanted it to be.
Yeah.
But the result in the end is a U.S. win, baby. Go, baby, go, USA. What a hell of a match. A lot of emotions. I can't even tell you the things that came out of my mouth watching that game. I can only imagine what you were going through watching that on your end. But tell me first initial raw reaction to what just happened, how that all went down, the obvious one call of the game that really changed things for the US. But how did you feel? How are you feeling, man? That was crazy.
Oh yeah, definitely a lot of mixed emotions. I mean, I went through it all because I actually went to the Point Orlando, where I don't know if you've seen like that they've had this huge screen of TV and everything, and they didn't have the game on. They weren't playing the U.S. game.
What?
Yeah, they were playing it upstairs near the bar area on a smaller screen. So it pissed me off. So I left. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I was like, "This is the United States playing, and you're not gonna play them, but you were gonna play the Scotland versus Haiti game there. Like, you know what I mean? Like it just pissed me off. Not obviously not to knock any of those countries, but it's the home home country, and you're not gonna play it on the big screen downstairs. So it pissed me off. So I left. And then I wound up going to Miller's Ale House. So shout out to them because they had it on every single TV and with the audio on, so it was great.
I miss a
Um,
good old Miller's Ale House, man. That was a great
yeah,
place to go to back in the day.
so it was good. I got to watch it, sat comfortably, and it was great. It was great. They definitely still came out with the intensity, and it was still nerve-wracking because they were missing opportunities, and I was getting nervous because when you miss opportunities, the other team tends to
I hear
then
you.
capitalize it, and then can be a heartbreak 1-0 loss. So it was nice to see Flo with the beautiful first goal that he was just offside,
Yeah,
and then he
just
was just
just a
like,
step he didn't come out in
yeah,
time. Yeah.
but he wasn't gonna let that, he didn't let it get it away from him, so he got another one, and it was beautifully done. I mean, I think they played well, and obviously the unfortunate, which I think is absolute bullshit given this tournament with the red card, because you can see he wasn't intentionally anywhere close to going for it. Obviously his leg swept out and he was getting pulled, and yes, a yellow card at most, sure, but a red card, absolutely not. And especially given the missed cards this whole tournament has happened, the Messi's blatant obvious stud that he went in didn't even get looked at. They wouldn't even revise that replay, so it's disgusting. I think I don't know what the point of VAR is anymore, and not like actual VAR, but more so the people reviewing. Like, what are they just like? Is it, are we just not gonna overlook, we're just going to overlook certain plays. We don't want to. It's disgusting and it's terrible and pissing me the hell off.
Yeah, John, my boy Jonathan in the chat said USA, USA, not a red crazy soft call. I mean, that was as Charmin as you get of a call.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
not to say it wasn't a play that wasn't
yeah, it was unfortunate. It
dangerous,
was, yeah.
but like you said, there's been, I believe, eight, if I'm not mistaken, it's been like 6 to 8 of that same play. I've seen that same thing happen in other games, and it's not even a yellow people are getting on.
It's just as dumb as the red card in the Canada game when what's his face got his leg broken, and
But
because
yeah, just because of what the result was,
yes,
and
the
yeah,
result was horrific. It was unfortunate, very sad, but not anywhere close to ever being a card. Was it
I
Canada
I
game? I
think
can't
to your
remember.
point, what pisses me off the most is if you're gonna watch the whole replay, if you're gonna slow it down, you're gonna do all this fucking bullshit that you do to watch it, and it's not in real time. The guy comes from behind, but Balogun's watching the ball, like you said, he's
Yeah,
getting
literally.
pulled.
Not
So
once looks.
so so much of that play was like what's happening all around the whole moment, and it's like he gets his body in the way, and Ballo has to balance himself out, And unfortunately, because the dude steps through, that's where Balogun's foot lands and it scrapes. Yeah, again, give him a yellow, fine, whatever. I'm okay with that. But you just now impacted this team's ability to have their best player up front for the next round, and now we like Poch has a he has a fucking hell of a job to do next game to try to figure out not just Belgium being an opponent, but just the fact that you're missing your best striker. Uh, the chat was going off, and everybody's saying that Pepe doesn't got it, and looking back, he's only scored goals against some pretty crappy teams. The best goal he had against the best team was Mexico. So it really does put like a big like crutch. Well, maybe not crutch, but it really puts the U.S. in a really weird position of like what do they do next? I mean, coaches said next guy up. But is it Pepe? Is it Haji? Haji hasn't even seen a minute of this World Cup and didn't even play the friendlies or barely played friendlies leading up to this. Like, does he change the system? Like, what happens next? Like, that ref in general to me was so ass the whole game.
Yeah,
Like, he
the whole
just it
game.
was so bad. Like, nothing was going our way. I can't even imagine, man. Like, it's so crazy.
It felt like an away game, well, like when it came to the ref, because it was almost kind of like it just wasn't. It was just terrible refing. There should have been multiple cards given, and not just
Yeah,
because it's the U.S. It's just
several
terrible.
pulls.
Yeah,
Yeah, several shirt pulls
absolutely. From
that were.
behind,
Yeah,
triples. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. The Pulisic, the double hit, pretty much where he got hit, and
Yeah,
first he
and
got.
also wasn't a yellow. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. It just blew my mind. I don't know what they're, especially nowadays, that they call anything. They call you for sneezing too hard, and at this point, it's just like, okay, we're fighting against the refs. But
I mean, I
it
will
was
say that most of this World Cup, there's been a lot of fouls they're letting go and they're letting them play. That's
which
fine.
is great,
That's
exactly.
fine. But even on a play on, you can still give a yellow card for somebody that's committing a foul that normally is a yellow card. Like I don't understand like where that disconnect is from like what a regular game outside of the World Cup is. Again, you can let them play, but you still, if someone does something that warrants a yellow card, you should still give a yellow card. Doesn't mean you don't have to stop the game. If you want to keep the flow of the game going, that's fine. But damn, that was like that was so bad. Like
It's frustrating.
and I really haven't like I will say most of this World Cup, I think it's been very far. Like Bartong, that guy from El Salvador, I think is the ref that's been probably the worst. And other than that, I couldn't even think of another one that I'd be like, oh yeah, that was awful. Actually, the one you said, the
Well,
the
The
yeah,
Scotland
Scotland,
Haiti
yeah,
game,
that's probably
yeah,
the other one. But
absolutely,
even then, like you're talking two out of what 80, 90 games that have passed already. We
yeah.
haven't talked about the ref. This was by far the worst ref performance of the World Cup. It's not just the USA thing because that's who we're
No,
cheering for.
no, it
Like
was just
this was
it was at least
atrocious.
five calls maybe that should have been worse. 5, 7, it could have been a lot more.
It was
Um,
also, but it was also like calls against the U.S. that should not have been. Like it was like a whole mixed bag of like just bullshit calls the whole game. Dude, I was livid, man. I was
yeah.
ready
Oh
to punch
yeah.
a window. I was, woo boy. Oh, I don't get angry very much, but man, oof, that
It
ref
was
had me
frustrating. Yeah, it
fuming,
was
man.
definitely a frustrating match, but it was good resilience even with the red card, and it seems like they stepped it up even more, and they were playing the counter perfectly. So they were getting attacked, but then they were ready, and they had the 1-2s going, and then they were just going forward. So
There was so much great touches in under pressure and like just like Freeman, even I know Pepe's everyone's kind of talking down on Pepe, but he has some touches too where it's just like quick get the ball out of your feet, like just move it. Like even the play before leading up to that free kick, beautiful free kick by the way from Tillman. Goalie probably
oh
could have done a
yeah.
little better, but
Well,
still a
yeah,
great
I
great
think he
great
couldn't see it. He
goal.
saw it too late. So yeah.
So a lot of the play from the U.S. was it was very different. Uh, yeah, definitely a lot of the Paraguay game in this game. A little less pressing, but a lot more fluid touches within themselves. Getting out of the back, Tim Ream don't look like he's 38 years old. He reads
No,
the game so well.
that
I
was
think
my
that's why he's
biggest
in there. You know.
one of my biggest kind of concerns, and he's obviously shut my mouth about it because I said, hey, he's got no more legs, especially when it goes against, and he's been playing phenomenal, but and he shut my mouth so far, but it still begs to differ, if we play a France, how will he fare against guys like that, with the French team like that? But as of right now, he's playing amazing, and he's stepping up, and they're doing phenomenal. So, especially with a physical team like Bosnia, they were going to come. Very unfortunate for Dzeko that had to come out. That he's obviously was pushing and pressing.
I think it was more than his knee. I think it was his muscle. It looked
No,
like it was
yeah,
touching
it's
his
look,
thigh.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what it seemed like. So obviously, you want everybody competing at full. If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best at all.
To be fair, I don't think he had much to do in the first half. I like,
Yes, but it's more or
I
less
mean,
it's
but
more or
Bosnia
less off
just
the
wasn't.
ball and stuff.
It
And
was that one play where he was like in the offside position. I guess they caught the U.S. on a what was it, a goal kick. That was that one moment he had where he had the potential to kind of be a threat.
no,
But
again, it's little
yeah,
quiet plays like that. It's kind of like in the Brazil game, when Casemiro wasn't doing right. He wasn't doing much, and the group chat we had a couple of guys.
toss up
Oh,
for
he's
the
done, he's washed, and this and that, and then he came out of nowhere, and then boom. So exactly, it's players like that with the experience that, yeah, they had lost their legs because in that goal that Japan scored, Casemiro was at fault on that one, and he lost. He doesn't have the legs that he did before. But guys like that, Ream and everything, they do show their experience when it's sometimes little plays like that where it's just like, okay, maybe they don't have much to offer, but in those little plays that other players won't see that they'll know it because of the experience. So I think that's what Dzeko
I think
would have brought to it, but
I think another good thing that happened in this game was the U.S. learned to keep their nerve with a lot of that
yes,
physicality.
absolutely. Yep,
I
that's what I
think
was gonna say.
kudos to Poach or kudos to whoever has tamed those lions because that's what they've
Yeah,
been.
Serginho Dest is a
Yeah,
little crazy. Tim
Adams
Weah didn't. Yeah, yeah.
Adams was
McKenny.
calm. McKenny. I think they were doing a great job of frustrating the other team with some of that time wasting.
I
Once
thought it
they
was
were,
hilarious when
yeah.
the Bosnian coach was holding onto the ball, and then who was it that just like, ball? Can I get the ball?
It was Tillman. It was
Yeah, I was
Tillman.
like,
Yeah.
are you gonna get the ball?
Look,
Like,
Tillman. I think huge shout out Tillman.
absolutely,
I
man.
think a lot. I've said this for a long time.
Yeah,
It's
we've
we
talked
got
about it.
receipts. It's been on here. He is a guy that has been a key part. I think of a lot of what Pochettino's trying to do, and I think why the U.S. does well because it's not just the goal. That little heel flick. He had a couple of those. One in the box to Christian, who I feel like should have shot on goal and just see what a rebound did. And I know it was a bad angle, but like even then, like just small plays to unlock. He's back there tracking. Like whenever there's pressure that's in the back, like he's there to receive the ball and kind of like open us up. There's so much that he's doing off the ball, even defending, like just his tackles. Um, but then the goal, obviously, to like golazo, obviously
Well,
to cap
his
off his
skill and
performance.
vision, he's got like his skill and vision. It's like it's not minimum, but it's little things that he does that just opens up to play big time. So yeah, he is absolutely right. He wasn't really much on the radar until the Gold Cup. It's like, all right, yeah, he's been there, he's played, but who knows it? Sure, he'll make the roster, but nowhere will he start. And he had a
Yeah, no
phenomenal
one was
Gold
calling for
Cup.
him
No,
in the first 11. That's
no,
right.
and then
Yeah.
he had a phenomenal Gold Cup, and at that point, after the Gold Cup performance, it's like, okay, is he going to be a starter? Like, after what he's done, like, is he taking somebody's position? And sure enough, I mean, obviously, Poach saw it, and he's without a doubt a starter, and he's without a doubt probably one of our top three players, because even, he doesn't have to score goals or anything. It's a lot of off the ball work and everything that he does that he's just consistently performing. So he is definitely a quality player that has definitely deserves to be there and to get all the shout outs because, like you said, not just the goals, just everything he's doing um, on and off the ball. That's helping the team big time. So I love it. He's definitely a huge part. And like you said, back to the forward. Um, yeah, I'm not gonna bash Pepe. He's there. Uh, he doesn't play bad, but he's not playing striker right now. He's kind of almost playing like a false nine, trying to do everything to, I guess, to maybe just involve himself. I don't know if it's in his head where it's like, all right, maybe I haven't done
Yeah.
anything and people are talking
He,
about me.
he has Harry
So
Kane syndrome.
yeah, maybe
He's
it's
just
just
trying
like,
to
hey,
drop deep. Yeah.
or no, it's just more so like let me get myself involved because so people can see that I am working hard, that I do deserve to be here. But he obviously needs to get out of that and play the way he does at PSV.
Yeah. He
And
needs
when he
to score
scored all those
goals.
goals, he just needs to be a forward.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we got to go with Haji Wright because Haji Wright, I think at this point, since he doesn't have the play time, he doesn't have that pressure that Pepe does because it's more like Pepe's had more opportunities because he's been on the national team a lot longer. So it's like, okay, what are you going to do for me if you're not doing much for me? And what, but he is It's just he's not the right things. He can't worry about having to drop back as much. You don't see Flo Balogun every now and then he was dropping back, but not too much. Stay up top,
Yeah, he's
be a
trying to push
dangerous
the
presence.
line.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And that's
yeah.
what Pepe needs to do. I know they're not the same type of strikers, but
But yeah, I just think it's a different game, right? Because Balogun can hold up play. Pepe tries to hold up play, but
yeah,
you can see him get bodied easily off the
yeah,
ball.
exactly. Which is surprising
He
because he's a lot bigger, I think, than Balogun. So
Yeah, but I think he's just too skinny.
no,
Maybe he needs
strong.
to
Yeah,
hit the weight
yeah,
room a little bit. But yeah, I mean, he scored goals for PSV, so I think in my mind, I think it's just I'm trying to have confidence in that he's a guy who can hit the back of the net. He's done it for the U.S. again against not the
yeah.
greatest
Yeah.
teams.
He usually comes off the bench.
Not
He's
bench,
he's
yeah.
great, and he gets 20, 30 minutes, and then he actually gets a goal. I don't know if it's because maybe the pressure's on him to start to do something, but obviously at this point, it's you're either starting.
And I think it's unfair to judge him on this game alone because his job to come in was just to disrupt the passing that was happening since
Oh yeah, it was
Bosnia
already
had
a
that
red
extra
card.
man. So
Yeah,
it's almost like bless you. I think it's unfair to judge. If this is what we're gonna judge him on, not the coolest thing to do, but uh, we'll see what
people are
happens.
gonna judge. People are gonna
Yeah,
judge regardless, especially if he doesn't perform. He came on obviously, and
he came
and
on
he
and
didn't score.
he came on and ran his ass off and just tried to disrupt the other team.
Yeah,
I think that's
yeah,
the main thing that we needed. Poach needed him to do. And hey, kudos to Poach for not changing the lineup because not the starting, but like he didn't make subs, and he's like this team is going to get us to the end, and he only made
yeah.
subs late at the end when he knew Christian needed timeout,
Some gas. Yeah, absolutely.
and
Just
Berhalter could come in and just kind of
it was
make
Gio
sure
that came in, no?
Berhalter first with
I didn't see
yeah
Berhalter come in.
yeah yeah he was just in there to shore up next to Adams. Reina came in at the end to just kind of give I think Pulisic I don't know I know it was him and Berhalter
Yeah.
and someone else came on I can't even remember at this point but no yeah I mean Coach I think great
That was
great.
tactically done exactly. Could have been a dangerous game because Bosnia, we knew we were obviously the favorites, but Bosnia wasn't going to go down. As like Željko gave the interview, um, that U.S. knows obviously not to underestimate them, and it's a whole other animal in the knockout stages. So
Hey, I got a little present here. Hi, baby. This is my little U.S. baby. Anyway, so, um, but yeah, no, it's great to see how much this team actually was locked in. Poach has these guys doing what I think. Like I know that we didn't have a clue of what his actual plan was, but I said it from the jump. I didn't think he was showing his cards, and I know I would probably have said it in another episode, but he genuinely I think had a plan. He knew who his guys were. He was just trying to see who else could fit, who could come in and that really have an impact on his team. And I think he's found the right formula. He's these guys are looking good, man. Like
yeah, they look great.
I'm not
Exactly.
gonna jump to say we're gonna win a World Cup, but we're into the next round. We're into the round of 16.
Hey, if
We have a
Zlatan
tough
said it,
opponent.
I'm okay with saying it.
We have a tough opponent, an opponent that beat our ass in 2016. Even though Tim Howard had 18 million saves during that one, and now we see where we're at. Now we truly will get to see back-to-back European opponents in a World Cup in two knockout games. We really are going to get a chance to find out what's to come for this team. Is this team really the team that we thought they could be? I am really curious to see what comes next for
Yeah,
this team.
yeah,
I am
exactly.
so
Yeah,
excited
it'll
for
be
the
great.
next round. Ah man, so much, man. I was like, woo! I can't even tell you.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. It's definitely exciting. Like I said, it was great to. It was good. It was a little nervy at first, obviously, because of the missed opportunities. I got a little nervous, but they continued to do to do what they did best. So
Yeah, and it's so crazy too because um 40 I think I was hoping for an early goal because they've been doing that the first couple games, of course, even against Turkey. But I was actually getting more confident as they got deep into the first half because I was like, Bosnia's not really coming for it, and the U.S. is putting pressure on them. I think the
hmm
goal's going to come, and obviously the offside goal at first, and then Balo, gets that. It was a good opportunity, of course. Weird deflection off a defender, but great vision from Tillman. Tillman put that ball in to find Balo obviously to get that goal again, and he's just being clutch, man, and it's
that
really
was
gonna
good.
hurt us for next game. for
Yeah,
sure.
Pulisic needs to, Pulisic stepped up and he had that goal that was just offsides, unfortunate. But again, hopefully he steps up now. Makes creates a couple more dangerous plays. Um, I think hopefully this build up now we're confident, and now it's obviously getting into a tougher spot. So with each team getting to the next stage, obviously it's going to just get harder and harder. So at this point, hey, we're just ready for the next one.
Right, and we celebrate this one for a day or two, and then
Hmm.
we start crossing our fingers and our toes, and hope that the next one is just as good. We'll move on from talking about the U.S. just to kind of talk a little bit more about the rest of the games, because this World Cup has been fantastic. I am not mad at all at what we've seen so far in this World Cup. We'll talk
Except
about
for
the
the,
neighbors to the south that we really don't care for, but obviously
yeah,
they
and
made
it's
they made Ecuador look really bad in
and
their game.
unfortunately, I guess our neighbors to the north was a snooze fest. So obviously, just quickly talking about that one. Canada won, cool, nothing to it, 1-0. I thought they were going to do better. Yeah, is what it is. On to the next. Obviously, Brazil Japan was that first game on the next round, which was exciting, super exciting. Japan, I love Japan, and it was unfortunate that they got a draw against Brazil. Japan just hustles hard and works hard, and they woke Brazil up because Brazil was at that point they weren't looking too dangerous or threatening, and until finally Casemiro does what he does best and shows what he showed in at United, and they kind of just they persevered through everything and they pulled it off. But that was a great match too,
I mean,
definitely exciting. And
I think that was a big turnaround game for Brazil, because Brazil, as we've said, is not the team that people think they are. They have players, yes, that can do this. They can score late game winners. They can get you some goals, but they're not the team that you like really scares you. I think Zlatan said it is like when you look over to that, you used to be scared of that shirt. It's like now you're not. You're just like that they're players that are beatable. And kudos to Japan. Hell of a game. Super organized team. I know someone made the joke about, man, they're gonna have to start another 100-year project now. Uh, but I think that was in reference to Blue Lock, if I'm not mistaken. But it's just unfortunate for them, because a team that I think could have gave headaches to a lot more teams in the next rounds. But yeah, no, and kudos
no,
to
shout out to
Brazil.
Brazil because
Yeah,
they
for getting the winner at the end, of course, and
yeah, it's my other team.
Vinny stepping up.
Vinny's been
Yeah,
phenomenal this whole
yeah.
tournament, so absolutely. Vinny's been great. Cunha has been good. The United boys have been good. So, um, they're kind of just showing out, which is good. So, it is good. That was a good match. And then the next one obviously it was a surprise to everybody. Germany and Paraguay. Shout outs to Paraguay because everybody still talks down, and obviously they were in the United States group and they didn't look great at all. They barely pulled through. Um, but now they knocked out a giant. It doesn't matter if it was in penalties or not. Obviously, they had a lot more um, composure when it came to penalties, and they didn't have the experience. But that was the game wasn't anything too crazy. Germany just couldn't pull it off. Obviously, Germany was the better team, and they couldn't score. The goalkeepers in this tournament, shout out to a ton of the goalkeepers in this tournament because they've been phenomenal. Well, shout out to Paraguay because again, I feel
Vozinha.
like Paraguay is not Bosnia. What are you talking about?
No, I'm
Oh,
just shouting
oh,
out the
okay.
goalkeepers.
But I feel like yeah, CONMEBOL and just the Latin teams always get looked down on by Europeans that they're superior and everything.
I'm
And
still here. I'm still here.
okay, I was like, huh? And then but yeah, they definitely they pulled it off. So shout outs to them. Like I said quickly, I don't know if you have any thoughts on it, but
I mean, I will say the I made a comment on someone. The so Nico Cantor, Andres Cantor's son, who does the
mhm.
CBS Golazo Network. He had a thing that he did where he posted about Kimmich's comment, because he Kimmich said, the we lost to a team that's not world class. We were poor. I commented on a thing to say, like, I'm glad someone kind of made a point to really defend um, Paraguay in a sense, because I don't feel like if you lose a game, especially if you're a world class team, that you should be talking. You should be giving a compliment to the team that beat you. It's hard to do, to be a not a sore loser to say, yeah, we were just bad. They beat us today. Like I think that's the comment that should be made
I
as
mean,
the
they could.
captain of that team.
Even if he said we're a world class team and we got beat today, that's fine. But no, I'm saying by a team that's not, pretty much not at our level, because obviously if they're not at your level, then why didn't you beat them? So absolutely. So yeah, I think um,
I just
the
think
lack of
it's
respect.
yeah, it's so unnecessary to keep throwing shade to this side of the world, especially South America. Conmebol, Dad was telling, we were having a
Well,
conversation.
Argentina just won the last World Cup, so as much as you
Well,
want to talk trash,
well,
they won.
the thing too is just like you're talking about a team that beat Argentina and Brazil in World Cup qualifying in South America, which is not easy to do, especially how those games are in those countries. Those fan bases,
Yeah,
they are
absolutely.
insane.
And yeah, don't get me wrong, Paraguay has had a poor World Cup and they crawled into the knockout stages, but cool. They're there and now
Yeah,
they
yeah.
just beat a powerhouse. So Germany obviously wanted to talk thinking that, that I guess they thought they were better than they are. And doesn't matter if it didn't go their way. That's not Paraguay's fault. Paraguay kept in the intensity, they kept up and they pushed enough to get to a penalty. And if you're world class, then penalty should be a cakewalk for you. Jonathan Tah sending it back to Germany on the PK. So, and the goalkeeper for Paraguay, shout outs because he had a phenomenal, who's had a hell of a life story. I briefly saw something. So for him to get to the place, that he is now, yeah, just shout outs to them.
And I will say, speaking of Jonathan Tah, I know we mentioned that I have my theory that I don't think defenders should ever kick
Hmm.
penalties, but kudos to him for stepping up to do it because apparently no one else in Germany wanted to take it. That video of Kimmich asking Goretzka and I forget who else. Um, that
Insane. Yeah.
so like I said, to make comments that the comments he made completely unnecessary. Like
Classless.
talk shit about
Classless.
your own team who couldn't even
Yeah.
step up to take penalties in a moment that they needed them. And this guy's now going to live with this for the next however long till the next World Cup. This is probably his last World Cup. I don't think he's playing
Yeah.
another one.
No, I don't think he's
And
making it.
and this is going to be this guy's everlasting memories, stepping up for his country and trying to get you through to the next round. So maybe focus on your team and what they didn't do instead of what the other team did to kick you out of the World Cup. So just that was my lasting thoughts on that. I just thought it was really disrespectful for him to come out that way, and that's fine. It's whatever. But
Yeah. Nothing
and
new.
yeah, and I will. The next game that I want to speak on is just like France and what we don't have to talk much on it, but man, I don't know that anyone's gonna beat that team, man.
Oh
I
yeah, yeah. Well, I still don't want to cut off. Obviously, Morocco, Netherlands is the next one.
no, we
Before we
will,
touch
but
on.
yeah, I just
Yeah, well, we'll talk to France when we get there, because obviously you're way ahead right
my
now.
bad, my bad.
Well, yeah, Morocco, Netherlands, another tight game, another penalty shootout, and once again the Netherlands just doing what Netherlands do best, and unfortunately, but and which to your captain's thing, Van Dijk, the captain, suppose he's talked a lot, and he's supposed to, and he didn't step up to take a penalty, so that speaks level
Supposedly he
on.
wasn't. He
Yeah, he
feeling
was
a
something else. So
strain. Yeah.
that speaks levels about his leadership. And then when they want to compare him to the best center backs ever, that's what pisses me off. And he's very arrogant. I'm not a big fan of him.
I
Um,
mean Liverpool guy, so yeah, no.
well, other than that, yeah, yeah, he's but other than that part, yeah, I'm not a big fan of him. And that definitely
Speaking to that the Netherlands, by the way, I don't know if you saw, but it came up on my feed today that Justin Kluivert missed the penalty
exactly the way
exactly the
Patrick
way his
Kluivert,
dad
yeah,
did.
same
Oh
spot and
man,
everything. Yeah,
that is so
that is
painful,
just
man.
yeah, that
Like
is
talk about history repeating itself, and you couldn't like for your dad just get that one
yeah.
back. You know what I mean? Like that's a tough one. I don't know how that guy's feeling after that one.
Yeah. But yeah, shout out to Morocco. Morocco again, they kept it through and they're a tough team and I mean I picked them to beat Netherlands. So but again it's just Netherlands is just they're just always going to be there. They're so far from when they had the powerhouse teams in the 80s, and they just couldn't get through because they just had, at that point they just faced tougher opponents. Now they just beat themselves up. So yeah, but shout outs to Morocco for pulling through and winning and staying consistent. So
Yeah, and I tell you what, I know Morocco also kind of had the kind of start that Paraguay had. I would say, like not looking what we thought they were going to be like,
no, not at all.
but they got really strong really quickly. Like their first
No,
game.
the first game against Brazil, they dominated that game. What are you talking about?
No,
You're completely off.
I'm thinking of a different team then. No,
Yeah, because Morocco
I,
completely dominated against Brazil.
I've
And
watched so many games at this point. I'm kind of getting
yeah,
them
no,
confused.
no, no.
It's
Morocco started off strong.
we probably should have talked about this a few episodes ago, just so not be caught up. But yeah, but Morocco. I mean, I had them winning too, so it's not like I thought less of them. Um,
No, no, yeah,
but shout
they're
out,
they're a good team.
they've all said it on the broadcast. But shout out to all the African teams, the 8 that went through to the knockout rounds. I know Senegal
Hmm.
just went out today, but those teams, Congo looks strong as well. I don't know, I'm jumping ahead, but
No,
just shout out because we're talking about Morocco, obviously one of those countries as well, Egypt as well.
yeah, the next.
A lot of teams that have really performed solid have had performances that shocked some teams, and I think people hopefully take notice. I think that some good games we're seeing.
Yeah, moving on to the next African team, Norway versus Ivory Coast, which I'll let you take the reins on it because obviously,
That was just a really good game that I
yeah,
watched. It was a
yeah.
really fantastic
Dad
game.
got Dad got really Dad got you hooked Dad up with some tickets, so it's just
Yeah,
very special for our dad. It was his first World Cup experience, so it was
yeah.
prize
It's one of
boost,
the
you know.
it's one of those things in this life where you don't get a lot of opportunities to do something. And when you get a moment like this is a moment to do that. My dad has never been to, he probably barely goes to games. He's worked so hard
Yeah,
his whole life, and we
and
wanted
he's a
to, we,
huge
yeah,
football guy. So
and to give him an opportunity to go to a game and get him a ticket to go see Norway versus
and Dallas and Arlington, yeah,
yeah, in
North Ivory
Arlington
Coast, yeah,
was insane. Hell of a game that he got to watch. Obviously Holland scores a goal for Norway and is
yeah.
looking like one of the superstars that he's supposed to be for this World Cup. That was
What
a
about
game.
Noosa's goal? What about
Yeah,
Noosa's goal,
yeah.
man?
When I was watching that, I've seen his performances in the first few games, and I thought he was going to have an impact in that game before that game even started. I was like, yeah, I think he's going to score one, and sure as shit, he scored a banger from outside the box,
What a
top right
banger! I think
corner. So,
all three goals were
well, I
exciting. They
mean,
were just
Holland was he
well, just
had,
exciting because it was a
yeah,
game changer,
yeah.
right?
It
Obviously,
was another
it was a
last minute goal or late
yep,
game goal. So
Holland
yeah,
Gold. There's a
yeah,
Holland Gold.
yeah.
But Ahmad, shout out to United again. Diallo just, and it sucks
And
because obviously he's
it,
injured. He's carrying an injury, and he came off the
it's
bench because
it's
of
so
that. But
crazy too because I was like, why isn't he starting? I didn't realize he was injured, and then he comes
yeah,
on. He gets one opportunity and boom. And he had
and makes it.
several other moments too, where he was doing his
He's
thing. So
dangerous. Yeah, it was a great game. Again, shout out to Africa again. Ivory Coast putting in the work and making sure that that Norway earned their victory. It was a great game. Definitely Norway. I'm loving Norway's their vibes and
Root,
just everything that they it's just cool.
root.
But then yeah. So we'll see how they do next. And then moving on to what you were talking about earlier, France, Sweden. Um, Obviously France just looking like they're like it's just a warm up game to them with everybody that they're playing. So yeah, they're looking beyond dangerous. And if they make it to the final, I don't think there's a single team that has a chance against them,
I saw
unless
I saw
Infantino steps in.
I saw a post that talks to like their activity compared to other teams. They're almost like 44 out of 48 in terms of distance covered. So they're not even like having to run like maniacs.
No,
Not
no.
only that, you talking about players like Dembele, Doué that have played combined minutes as much as hey combined minutes as much as like one what was it Declan Rice for England. Like
Mm.
it's crazy that's what we're experiencing, that's what we're seeing. And it's a team that just Elise looks fantastic. Like I can't like
Mbappe.
I'm
Everybody,
yeah, I mean
with
we
with
all
the with this season that Mbappe had at Madrid, and they're saying how he was overrated and how he's terrible, that he's bad and he's not a good striker, and we've seen a lot of bashing on him, but he obviously he's a completely different animal on this France team. Obviously, I think any striker that's decent quality would be a good fit for him, but he is obviously still showing that he is a world class player, whether you like him or not. But for France, he is just he's untouchable.
he's just
He's a
getting it
beast.
done, man.
He's a beast. He's getting it done. So whether you like him or not, and whether he has his attitude or not, he's not going to do it in France because obviously Didier Deschamps is not the coach to mess with, and I'm sure Mourinho will kind of kind of wrangle him in at Madrid. So yeah, that whole team, Dembele, they're just I just you really can't pick a player. It's like, well, he's not playing too well, but good for France. So
Believable, man. Because even like you guys were saying, like the people that come in from the bench, you're just like, damn it, like
yeah, they could be starters anywhere else, pretty much.
Shirky's getting 5 minutes a game in this team, and you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
and even Mateta, who plays for Crystal Palace, who's a goal scorer coming on.
Yeah.
It's just it's like there's so much. I know chemistry is really just kind of like a FIFA 26 thing, video games thing, but there really is like this team has some hella chemistry between them.
It's yeah,
It's incredible to watch. It's
hmm
just so fluid. The way that
yeah.
they kind of just move around. Elise has that liberty, and Mbappe also has, and all of them. They're just like the hat trick that Dembele had that one game. Like it's just incredible.
Yeah, honestly, I don't even think I actually even put them on my bet early on to win the tournament. Right now, I think I only have Portugal
Yeah,
and
my Portugal pig looking real
Portugal. Yeah,
right
Portugal and
now.
Spain are my only two that I have right now to actually win the World Cup. Which actually, speaking of, let me put that I think is a favorite. I mean, I know it's a little late now, but let me see if it lets me see what it gives me as far as a World Cup winner. Let's see what the odds are. France is still at plus 200, so it's nothing too crazy. I mean, which is still good odds.
I put
So
a
I'm
dollar
gonna
on the
put,
U.S.
hey, I'm gonna
It's
put
gonna give me like
25 bucks.
31 if I get it right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Plus
know,
2,500, yeah.
it's also like crazy. Like watching even I don't know what game what are we going through the knockout? Is that what we're looking at?
I'm just going yeah through the knockout games just to quickly touch up to catch up. So I don't know if you want to move on to next, or you still had another comment.
No, I mean this Sweden just they couldn't
Yeah, no,
handle. I
Sweden,
don't know.
yeah, they were playing okay, but unfortunately, yeah, I mean, it doesn't, yeah, I don't think it really mattered who was going to play France, because France is just going to coast through it. But yeah, moving on to the next game, our neighbors South, that we obviously are rivals, so we don't like them. But they
There's
dominated. I just think
there's
Ecuador,
so much.
Ecuador, Ecuador shouldn't have even tried to beat Germany to make it to the next round because they just look terrible. I don't understand how you finish second in CONMEBOL and then you look like you look like a
Guatemala.
team that's ranked. Yeah, exactly. You look like a team that's ranked like 300. Like they didn't have chemistry. They couldn't shoot. They couldn't play. They just couldn't mix. And no, like Mexico,
My feelings on
I
that
don't
whole
think
game,
Mexico is as good as they're looking,
as Ecuador made
but
them look, yeah,
yes, but hey, you can't knock
yeah, they
Mexico
still won.
for
They
playing,
still
yeah,
won a
and
knockout game.
for
Yeah.
still they still have not been scored on, which is ridiculous. The fact that like it just seems scripted. That's how
To
crazy it is.
to be fair, Ecuador was not really the team that we expected to score a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah,
goals. So I mean, that was
yeah.
just a good draw for Mexico to get a
Oh yeah, it
team
was a
that really
great draw,
wasn't going
and
to challenge them
obviously,
that way.
yeah, exactly. And they're
Yeah, I think
continuing the momentum. They're playing as much as obviously they're our rivals, so we'll never like them and we don't want them to win. They're still getting it done. So right now they have a strong possibility to make with this momentum, and they're still playing in Mexico the next round. So it's going to be a strong possibility that they win this next match, and the next match won't be easy for them. This will be the true test for them. They're playing
England is next. Harry
yeah,
Kane.
which England we'll talk about shortly. They didn't have a great game, but they don't go, they won't go away, especially when you have a striker like Harry Kane up top. So Mexico will truly get a test, but I can't even say
I
shout out to Mexico,
I
but
only
Mexico
have.
did their,
I'll just a couple thoughts because I really don't want to talk too much about this because I really. mm, Um, the Ecuador to me was a team that's an organized, compact defensive team that doesn't let other teams score goals. That's their MO. That's just like Paraguay. They're very similar, but probably even more blocked in than. And they just did none of that. Like they
no,
looked so
completely different
lost.
team. That's what, yeah.
Like they just were not organized in any way, shape, or form. Like and not to make excuses, but what happened to them the night before, where all fans of Mexico were outside their hotel honking horns and doing all this stuff that doesn't happen in a World Cup, by the way. This is not a World Cup thing. This is a club thing that people are doing to a World Cup team that's in your country as a guest. Like, that's not okay. And
No,
again,
that's dumb. It's yeah.
again, I don't want to make an excuse for Ecuador because they played like shit. Ecuador played
Yeah.
terrible.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
but
But yeah,
it's just
does
it's
that come into
unfortunate.
play?
It's
Yeah,
unfortunate that
maybe,
that
but
had to be something because they even had some other issues besides that, like with their flight getting delayed and a whole bunch of other stuff.
yeah,
But yeah, we'll move on from that one. I really don't want to because
yeah.
whatever.
As I said, like I said, they the game when it came down to the game, Mexico handled their business and they did what they had to. So yeah, moving on. England versus Congo. That was
That was
interesting. That was punch in
well.
the cheeks because yeah,
I will
you know,
say I did at the beginning. I thought I was gonna be a genius because my pick was Congo to win in penalties, and after Congo scored their first goal, I was like, oh, everyone was like, oh, what?
yeah. And it took
uh,
a long time for
yeah,
England to finally score, but again,
I
Harry
think
motherfucking Kane.
yeah, and let's speak to that goal because I was talking about what he did, and I mentioned earlier in the game in the chat. You remember I was saying that they just couldn't seem to get around the defenders. Like the moment they tried to
Hmm.
take on a defender, they would just knock it out of their feet, or they blocked shots. Like they were just ready for whatever was England was doing. The genius move that he made. I don't know if you caught this, but when that ball comes to him, he pushes it into the space because he saw no one was close enough because he didn't want that to happen to him. He didn't want to have the ball at his feet and then for the defender to be able to poke it out. So he like just tapped it in front of him and then just whips his leg around off balance almost to do what he did. Like all those two little things, just so much class,
Literally one
so
of the
much
last pure strikers
insane.
left. Yeah,
Like there's so much. Like I want everyone. If you guys are not like soccer people, you don't watch football. Like this isn't a sport for you. You're just getting into this for the first time, and you want to understand like what like an actual like amazing talent is. Watch that goal on repeat, every angle you can
both
watch it
goals.
at. No, both goals, but that one very specifically because in the timing that he did it, the way that he used the defenders to push off, and like I said, find that space, see the space, and just put it in the top corner. Like you're talking about, like he hit it with enough power so it wouldn't go over the bar, and puts it right under where the goalkeeper just can't get to it. Like
Yeah,
just everything about that goal was so beautiful. Like everything about what we love about this game. Like like I in my life will I ever hit a ball like that, and most people will not. And even players that do this for a living every day, like what you said, there's no more pure strikers
yeah. Strikers is
like
very few.
Harry
That
Kane.
I can't really think of. Yeah, I can't really think off the top of my head right now to be like striker right now. No, that's up and coming or that's in his prime right now. No, obviously, I mean, well, Harry Kane's in his prime, but he's slowly, obviously, he's aging. So unfortunately, that we're not going to see too much of him. Next World Cup, I don't know. But as of right now, it's obviously puts into question, is he the best England striker of all time? Which it's hard to not. And talking about greats, obviously, Teddy Sheringham, obviously, all the way back to Bobby Charlton, um,
Wayne Rooney.
and
Wayne
then
Rooney
Wayne
was
Rooney,
fantastic for
obviously, of
England.
course, Wayne
Yeah.
Rooney for sure.
Um,
So Wayne Rooney was, pretty much this whole time up until Harry Kane, before all the way to, so. But
I
yeah,
mean,
just with Kane.
it begs the question. They're the opponent for Mexico next round. A lot of challenges for England ahead because
It's
obviously
gonna
they'll
be a
have to.
physical.
They're
It's gonna be
obviously gonna.
physical.
They're not gonna sleep because they're gonna wake them up like they did with
Yeah,
Ecuador. That's coming. It's gonna
yeah.
be a physical game. It's gonna be
Just
a. It's
buy
gonna
those
be a
noise canceling.
yeah.
Buy the noise canceling
It's
headphones.
gonna
It
be
should be fine.
it's gonna be also a very back and forth game, I believe. And then the altitude. As much as people don't want to give
Mhm.
it, like
Mhm.
it's
Oh yeah.
gonna affect England. England
Oh yeah.
is gonna really have to be mindful of that, and Tuchel's gonna have to make the changes he made in this game. And I think he actually, even though they started slow, I think the way that he approached the game against Congo with Rashford starting instead of Gordon, and
I think it's
um,
perfect. I think he needs to do the same because obviously Gordon coming off the bench looks like he obviously has more of
yeah,
a spark than him playing the whole 90. So,
and Saka, if he's healthy, he needs to start. Even if he can't give you 90 minutes, start him, not Madueke. Let Madueke
yeah.
come in and be that
And
game changing
inject.
pace, just
Yep,
like Gordon is on
exactly.
the other side.
Just like I forget what game it was that they played where yeah, when they put England those subs in, it was like Jesus Christ, it's just an injection of craziness. So
The
for
Croatia game
sure,
when they won 4-2.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's just
that's what it was.
like
Yeah, yeah, that's what it was.
it's crazy to me. Like we who aren't experts in some of this stuff, we just watch the game and know enough to be like, what is going on? That Tuchel, who's won Champions League, is a guy that knows how to win, makes these very interesting decisions in not playing Morgan Rogers. Obviously we already know the players he hasn't called in, but now you don't have Reece James and you have Jet Spence who's okay that's playing, and you have a guy on the bench in Lewis Hall who should probably really be getting some time on the field. Jordan Henderson coming on for Kobe Minu. What is
I
it
just
with these coaches?
I'm just not a fan of Tuchel. I never liked him. I just feel like I don't know if he has like an issue with players. I feel like he takes it personal with players, and that's why he doesn't play. Like not taking Carson Palmer to the World Cup blew my mind for one. Um, just because, yeah,
I
again,
mean, a couple of those players, Foden, like
yeah,
players that
exactly.
make a
So,
difference for you in a game. Like it's just
yeah, so
interesting. Yeah,
I've never liked Tuchel, but shout out to Congo because Congo definitely put up a match, and
I did.
for the end, again another
It's not
African
just
team
not just that
are just
match. Every match they played,
no,
they
yeah,
gave
absolutely.
everyone a
And
struggle. Portugal, yeah,
Congo wasn't supposed to be into the next round either because they were one of the teams that all these other countries
third
like
places.
why do we have so many big why do we have such an expanded get these little teams in and look what these little teams are doing. So shout out to Congo, England Junior because I think half those guys are English, um,
Yeah.
but yeah, shout out to them. They played great. And then so on to the next African team, which is very unfortunate. I felt that they deserved the win. Belgium, Senegal. I just feel
I
like
still
Belgium once
can't
again
believe
is.
that result, man. Oh,
Belgium once again is not
again, I looked like a genius for what 60 minutes with
86 because
86.
Lukaku scored in the 86th minute. So that's when the first
I,
goal was
I I
scored.
had Senegal winning 2-1. I just thought Senegal was really strong.
So
Just
that's
seeing them in
literally
the warm ups to the World Cup, and then in the games that
yeah,
they had in the group
exactly. They just
stages,
don't look good. Just
um,
another team
it's
that
just
doesn't feel like
interesting.
they're pulling it out, magic out of their ass because Lukaku in the 86th and then Tillman in the 89th minute. So literally 3 minutes later when the game's about to finish. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened to. I didn't really get to watch the full game, but I don't know what happened to Senegal's defending there, to give up, two goals in the last, 5 minutes
You
of
know
the
what's
game of regular
crazy
time.
is
But
right before the tying goal, Senegal's on a breakaway, 1-on-1 with the keeper, and could not score. I was just like,
and that would
oh
have put it
my,
away.
yeah,
Yeah.
that would have ended
And then a
sent them to.
125th minute penalty, like that's for them to
I will say
for
it was the
Belgium.
right call.
Yeah, I
It
didn't
was
see it, so I
soft.
don't
It
know.
was soft, but it was the right call
It was the right
because he
call.
does clip him. Like he just like it's one of those that sucks because he called it, or actually he didn't call it, but there was enough where yes, it impedes his ability to get a shot on goal. So I don't think it's the wrong call. Should you make that call in a game like that? Maybe just don't. But look what happened with the U.S. I mean,
Yeah,
these
yeah. So
VAR
I mean,
VAR
like I said, I mean, as
finally
much as I
comes
say,
out,
as much as I was saying, Belgium don't deserve it. Obviously, they do because they fought all the way to the end to
and
get all the way through. So,
old man Lukaku getting it done for
and
Belgium,
then Tillman, yeah, Tillman,
and Tillemans that penalty, oof, unsavable
yeah,
too.
yeah. So yeah, no, like I
Step
said,
up in a big
as
moment,
you
captain. I
know,
think he's the captain for Belgium,
yeah.
and he
So
he put them through the next round.
I don't talk about Belgium to say that they don't, when I say that they don't deserve it, doesn't mean I don't like them. I like Belgium because they've always, but just on paper, they always look great. But then when it comes to the field, they don't
I mean,
perform with the
let's
players
be
and name that
real.
they
Their
have. So,
performances this World Cup have been like
exactly.
terrible,
So, but
and
they're doing enough to make it to the
yeah,
next
I
round.
mean
So that's
they
all that
get the
matters.
result, yeah, and no favors from the ref. It was the right call. I think was it unfair a little bit? Did it suck? Yes, but it's not the wrong call to make. I mean, it's a pen. In most places they're gonna call it, but yeah.
No, it
But
was good. Yeah.
we have
And then obviously
up west next tomorrow. We have the big name Spain playing Austria, Portugal, Croatia. Not really big names,
Switzerland,
Switzerland,
Algeria
Algeria, but that should be. I think that's
should be a
going to
good
be a
game.
good game at the end of the
More
night.
exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
predictions. What do you think? Spain, Austria. What do you got?
I got Spain, I got Portugal, and I got Switzerland. Those are my three winners. So I think
Uh,
it's
I think the Spain game won't be close. I think the Portugal game will be close, but they're my pick to win the World Cup. So I'm going to keep saying that they're going to win against Croatia, an aging Croatia. I think the quality in the midfield will take over there, and then Switzerland. I don't know. I could see Algeria beating Switzerland. To be honest, like I said, Mahrez getting that late goal. that whole Algeria, was it Algeria? What was the other team they played against where they shouldn't win because it was going to give them a less opportunity to get to the next stage. And the tie caused Iran to miss out on the knockout stages, but should be a good one. I'll give it to I think Algeria can beat Switzerland in that one. I don't remember what I have in my picks. Let me see. I'll tell you right now. I have a tie with Algeria winning in pens for that one. I have Portugal winning 2-1 against Croatia. Spain
That's what I got.
2-0 on Austria. I just think the games are getting tighter. I think the only team that's going to be whooping anyone's ass is France at this point, and it's just obviously going to get even cagier as we move along. But yeah, no, it's amazing World Cup, and I'm seeing so many people put. I've never watched soccer in my life, and this World Cup, I can't stop watching every single game on TV. So,
It's tough. I can't even call it an amazing World Cup because I feel like the referees have ruined a lot of the group stage games. Um,
but there's been
but it has been exciting. Yes,
so many late
it's
game
yeah,
winners, and
it has
yeah,
it. Yeah, the knockout
small
rounds right
small
now are
small
yeah,
teams surprising people. I think there's a lot of different things that are happening with
yeah.
all the games that have
There's a
made it a
lot
really
going
good World
on.
Cup. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. I just feel like, yeah, the referees definitely have been ruining it, like today's game. Because had the U.S., could have changed it. And again, that red card was just a terrible call. So it's going to be a big game changer. But as I said, just the referees just, they haven't. There's been in the group stages, a decent amount of games, and again, Argentina doesn't look that great without Messi because when Messi didn't play against Jordan, look how they did, and then he came on the field and then it pushed to the score. So, had Messi gotten the red card, he would have been out 2 games. So would that have changed them? Would they have gotten second place and then see who they would have played? So, so I can't call it great, but it has been very exciting. And hopefully, just if the refs can consistently be finally, not be assholes and actually, do be actual refs, um, then if we can't let the refs dictate the game at this stage of this level of the World Cup because you're supposed to be the best of the best. Um, so hopefully that gets fixed up. But yeah, the games are exciting. The games are definitely exciting, and the players, everybody, and the fans have been phenomenal from pretty much every country. It's been beautiful to see the harmony, and especially in a place that in a country has
Just
been so controversial with
the
everything.
unity between the people has
Yeah.
been a great.
So
It's been a
exactly. So
breath of fresh air.
yeah, with the controversy obviously going on here, it's good to see that obviously that us as people, it's not us as people. So it's beautiful.
And we can enjoy it together
Yeah, everybody,
for the
whether
most part.
exactly whether you're going against other people other than the knockout that the Ecuadorian fan. I don't know if you saw that. He knocked that Mexican fan out. So
No,
at least they got
I think
they got a win.
I think that was an old video, but
Oh, was it? Well,
there was a bad scene of a Ecuadorian fan leaving the Mexico game, and some girl comes up behind him and throws a drink on him after they've won.
yeah, that's
Like
yeah.
it's just
Again,
terrible.
that's it's just dumb because again, obviously, it's a game and we're enjoying it. And obviously, if your team loses, cool, man. It's a World Cup, enjoy it. And especially if you're visiting from other countries and your new places, even if like again, if you're Mexico and you're going to visit Monterrey and you're from DF or something like
Dude,
that, So
the scenes of that stadium are
oh
so amazing.
oh,
Holy
absolutely,
crap,
the most
dude.
beautiful stadium right
That
now
is
in
crazy,
World Cup.
dude.
Monterrey Stadium is second to none. It's absolutely to me the most beautiful stadium.
Let
I
me
couldn't think of
let
another
me
one.
touch on this real quick because I don't want to forget. Australia Egypt is Friday. Argentina Cape Verde. So we'll see what happens there.
Let's go Cape
And
Verde.
then Colombia Ghana should also be a really good game.
Yep,
And then I'll just really
Colombia's first
quick
test.
um, because we're U.S. people. We live in the U.S. We're obviously fans of our national team. I got to talk to what CONCACAF is going to face in the next round. So real quick, Canada's playing Morocco, amazing test. Mexico
Five,
playing
yeah,
England, amazing test. U.S.
five.
playing Belgium, a rematch of 2016. I think this is a really big moment for us as people that live in this region, CONCACAF, to really hopefully get some respect across the pond because we all know how much people talk down on the football on this side of the world. And yeah, we're 100 years behind. It's going to be that way. But at the same time, I hope everyone can give us our props and our kudos and respects if these games wind up going in our favor and not in the favor of Morocco, who's a strong team, England, who's a favorite to win the World Cup, and Belgium, again, who's a European team who's
And it
had
gives the U.S.
several
has given the
golden
U.S. struggles. Yeah.
generations. So just, we'll see where we come out on the other side once it's all said and done. But we will talk to that once this next episode airs, and we can kind of have a reaction to that. But just be on the lookout for the growing game in this country. It's not small as you think. Please stop thinking that I believe we will win China is the only thing that exists in this side of the world.
Yeah,
There's
which is
some of
absolutely terrible.
there's
We
some
need
of
to.
us.
The fact that we have Hollywood and we can't come up with good chants. Like we have music,
It's because Hollywood's
obviously
not
just
involved unless they're wanting some cam time at the game. So,
gas, but geez, yeah.
but anyway, all that to say is we got some amazing games coming up for us as people from this side of the world against teams that are favored to go far in this tournament. Um, Hopefully, Cape Verde can give Argentina a game. Vozinha, I hope you
Oh
can
hell yeah, Bosnia.
play your heads. Just
Hey,
do
push it to
everything you can.
penalties and then stop the penalties and then give it the upset of the tournament. That'll be the most beautiful thing in the world.
And then, for we have a lot of Colombian friends, so maybe Colombia gets through and gets around Ghana. This should be, I think, it should be a
We'll
tough
see if
battle,
if
but
Colombia will Brazil's also got a tough match with Norway, so we'll see. We'll see if this side of the world competes against the other side of the world. But as long as it's exciting, as long as it's good games, may the best team win, and everybody's gonna lose to France anyway. So.
And yeah, on that note, I think we could end it and fucking let's go USA, baby. We're gonna keep riding this wave. We're gonna do some what is it? Why can't I think of his name from United? Oh my God, Brazil. Cunha celebration.
Cunha. The surf. Yeah.
Let's go, baby.
We're going surf.
Alrighty.
Surf all the way to the finals.
And then for anyone that keep watching the World Cup, please subscribe, like, repost, share, tell a friend. If you want to learn more, just want to be a part of a good conversation when it comes to football, we're here for you. And that's it. That's a wrap. Let's go USA, baby.
See.
Powered by Riverside.
I would have preferred the Eye of the Tiger, but